You got a dope voice.
Thank you.
Yeah, you got that bass. The bass is in your face.
Word up. This is the Underground Arsenal Show.
On the
Raw 808 Underground Radio. Make sure to get that app.
Word, get it.
And if you miss a show, go to the UAShow.com.
Log on.
Yes. And this is DJ Fatal Skills.
Lebronx.
Yeah, shout out to M8e.
He doing things, but
this
we
week,
got a
man,
dope guest.
we're very, very special. This dude is one of the inspirations of this show.
Of why we do it.
Word up. Bobbito Garcia.
Salute.
What's going on, brother?
It's an honor.
Blessing. Thank you for the invite. You know, I am a product of Underground Radio myself, as you well know. And, glad I could make a little bit of time to contribute to today's episode. You know, wish I had more time, but I'm constantly juggling. You know, I just just had a clothing brand launch on Thursday, September 25th, which was my 59th birthday.
Happy birthday, by the way.
Thank you,
Happy belated
and,
birthday.
And I also released a book this past summer.
Right here,
a memoir, Bobbito's book of B-Ball Bong Bong. Hey, all right. Get out of here.
We got it.
Yeah. All right. Well, cool. So, got so much going on, requests from customers and press and all that. But, listen, when I can make time because I know where I came from,
Word. We thank you for that, man, for real.
Definitely know where you came from.
Word.
You know what I mean?
But yeah, let the people know how you got started into DJing and
let the youngins
getting into radio and all that.
Well, why did you tell them? Well, I'd like to hear from your perspective.
From my perspective, man, you were the voice of my childhood growing up.
Word up.
I had cousins that used to go out to the, Limelight, the Tunnel, and my job was to flip that tape, that cassette deck tape.
Word.
When it popped. And you brought the hip hop that some people, if they wasn't put on, they didn't know. You know what I mean? That exclusive hip hop. It was around 1 or 2 a.m., in the morning. You had to stay up and stay exclusive. Shout out to Stretch Armstrong.
No doubt.
You are the voice of my childhood, so I would say you are
same here,
the legend of a DJ personality on the radio.
Wow. Word up.
And not only that, hip hop, he is a basketball enthusiast. Street baller himself.
Yep.
And also you played professional ball in PR too, right?
I did. You're doing great.
That is crazy. I didn't even know about that until I got the press stuff from you, man.
I'm gonna hire you as my publicist, bro.
No, for real. Like I'm all in. But
you're doing good.
And also, whoa. He was the voice of NBA Streets.
Oh, word, 2K. NBA Streets 2.
NBA Streets Volume 2.
Yep.
Oh, man. I could go on and on, but salute.
Nah, listen, I've lived a blessed life. I've been able to reinvent myself in every single decade, basically, right? So, for people who were born in the late 70s, coming up in the 90s as teenagers, me and Stretch on the radio every Thursday from 1 a.m. to 5 a.m. on 89.9 FM with tapes being, duplicated and distributed worldwide. We became that sort of like that guide, for people's entry point into hip hop, throughout the world. But then, as you mentioned, I was also the video game announcer for NBA Street Volume 2 by EA Sports, which sold millions of copies. That was in 2003. Then I did Volume 4 in 2005, and I did NBA 2K8, 2K9, 2K10. More recently, I did Blacktop Hoops, which is a virtual reality video game. I have another game that's going to come out next year that I'm not allowed to talk about, but that's going to be huge as well.
Stay tuned, hip hop.
But first. So I'm grateful because there's people who know about me in the video game space that say the same thing, like, yo, you were the voice of my youth. I heard you for hours playing, drove my mom crazy. But then there's people from the 90s that I missed every Friday morning class in high school because I was up late taping your show. So it's like it's two different generations that I've been able to usher into, their sort of like awareness of basketball and hip hop. But I've done a lot of other things in my life as well, including, as you mentioned, authoring books,
documentaries.
Yeah, I was a filmmaker of 3 docs, one all about me and Stretch called Radio That Changed Lives. But my favorite one was Rock Rubber 45s, which was an autobiographical documentary. And then my first film was Doing It in the Park, Pickup Basketball NYC, which aired on PBS and was on Netflix for a few years. So, I've been able to mix and match. I am the underground arsenal. I have a lot of things in my closet that I could pull out.
Word.
That's a fact. And how did you get those exclusive interviews? And because there wasn't really no internet like that back in the days.
Word.
How did you did you have a street team, or did you just have word of mouth? How was it of you getting all these interviews with these dope artists come to the station?
I mean, in terms of the hip hop community, me and Stretch were both embedded in it, and there was sort of like an ecosystem, if you will, that existed. So, for example, like Matty C was an editor at The Source magazine who did the Unsigned Hype column, and so when he had Biggie featured, he hit up me and Stretch and was like, yo, I got an artist that I think is going to really be huge. Y'all should get him up on the station. And so then, March 5th, 1992, the first time anybody ever hears Biggie on live public broadcast is on our radio show. But vice versa, Tame One, rest in peace, comes up to the radio show with Elder Sensei. Elder Sensei. And I tell Maddie, like, yo, there was a group called That's Them who bodied our show, the listeners are, loving their rhymes. So he features them in Unsigned Hype, so it worked both ways. So it was this whole cats who really cared about up and coming and unsigned artists that helped out each other, and then I was also writing for Brad Pages and Vibe Magazine. I was writing for The Source. So, I was doing unsigned artist showcases, Lyricist Lounge. I also hosted All That and Words at the New York Poets Cafe. So, it was just like, there was like this universe that existed that, I would meet unsigned artists and be like, yo, you want to come to the radio show? Stretch would meet, Stretch new producers. He's going to Diamond D's crib to pick up the unreleased remix. And Diamond is like, yo, this is my man. And then he wants to come and, So
it was bumping elbows, basically. Everybody
it was just being part of the movement in every single way. Wasn't comfortably just being in our studio and not being involved. We interacted.
Exactly. Be out there. You got to be out there.
Yep.
Yeah, let the people know more about the book, what they could expect from it and stuff. I mean, it was a dope book, man.
Thank you.
Well, hold on. I want to go back to what he was saying. So I always wondered this mystery about Bobbito, because you say you were a street baller. Where did you get the time to really ball and then go on the radio and do all these adventures? Like, I mean, you everybody, he ain't no like regular baller. He nice.
Yeah.
he busts ass on the court. Go do your research, do your Googles. But I always wondered, like, when do you get the time to do all that? Like, did you ever sleep? Was you running on like 4 hours sleep? Like,
I mean, I've been fortunate to have accomplished a lot in my career in multiple platforms, right? Because whatever you say about me in basketball and hip hop, you can say the same in the sneaker world, which I'm like, I'm a,
sneakerhead.
I don't know, I'm an ambassador for, I really ushered in the culture to media. I wrote the first article in Media History about sneaker culture for The Source back in 1991. So, but I've been able to diversify by virtue of being, hardworking and like immensely focused, meticulous, but also, making the time however I can, you know, and in certain cases, you know, that means less time to, you know, watch TV or, you know, go to movies. I mean, you know, my friends always make fun of me. I'm pop culture challenged. You know, they're like, well, you never heard, you know, TLC? You never saw Men in Black? I'm like, nah, I was out
doing
playing ball.
Things.
Even when it comes to the, you know, basketball, people are like, yo, you know, who you think will win the NBA this year? I'm like, I have no idea. I'm playing ball. I'm not watching TV. You know, I'm not watching games. You know, so, you know, I make those sort of decisions and I coordinate my life so that I can, you know, have the energy and effort to put towards my independent projects. You know, for example, I just launched a clothing brand this week.
What's the name again?
It's just the Bobbito clothing brand, you know, Bobbito clothing, a signature line, you know. But I did the designs, you know, it's all my illustrations. I had to pick out the fabrics and the colors and, you know, work with the manufacturer and, you know, deal with the marketing and the promotions and the advertising. You know, it's a lot that goes into it. But I make the time because it's me, you know, and it's I'm driven by passion. You know, and I'm not driven by anything else. You know, like I turn down a lot of work all the time because people make me offers and it's not something that I feel like is going to be worthwhile, even if it's a big check. But if it's going to compromise my creativity or how people perceive me, then it's not worth it. So, you know, I love the OC line, you know, where he goes, it's the principle of it. I get a rush. No. He goes, of course we got to pay rent, so money connects, but I'd rather be broke than have a whole lot of respect. Word. It's the principle of it. I get a rush when I bust the dope rhymes I wrote, and maybe somebody will quote. You know, from Time's Up. So, you know, that's kind of like my ethos, and it was before that record came out, but I think that's why, you know, me and OC got along so well, because we see life in the same way.
Shout out to OC.
Yeah, and you know, and I have projects in the future, you know, but I've been on my indie grind, you know, for years. I run a basketball tournament in 30 international locations called FC21 All World.
You got your own sneakers too.
Well, I mean, I've done collabs with big collabs. Brands, Nike, Adidas, Puma, K1X, Piola, to name a few.
They want like, you know, 500 online.
Yeah, I mean, you know, those are in the past. You know, that's the thing. One of the inspirations to start my own clothing brand is like, you know, the brands hit me up and they want to collab, but they don't want to do anything on a regular basis. They just want me to hit the home run and keep it moving. You know, and so, you know, after the collab sells out, then it's like, what's left? You know, and I'd rather do something that's more sustainable. Same thing with, you know, one of the reasons why I started my tournament, because, you know, all these brands will hire me to announce their basketball events, and then it's like, okay, cool, like we're happy, great, you crushed it, but now what? You know, so that's why I always, you know, commend anyone who, like yourselves, who are doing, you know, any type of project that's independent, that's like passion project. You know, whether you're making money on it or not, it's like it's going to be worthwhile and it's going to reap benefits. Either that your listeners are going to really enjoy what you're doing, or, you know, your friends or someone's going to benefit from it. But when it comes from a pure space in your heart, it's always going to be the illest.
Facts. Heard that hip hop. But let's go back into the book, though.
Yeah. Let the people know more about that book.
I'm reading the back of this book, and they're saying you're basically the enthusiast. You know what I mean? The entrepreneur of street ball. What can a b-baller out there, any upcoming kid, get out of this book right here?
Well, Bobbito's book, A B-Ball Bong Bong, is a memoir, but it's also a historical document for outdoor basketball, primarily in New York, but also globally, for the last 60 years. And so you don't just get like this personal narrative, you get like basically a history textbook. And then on top of that, it features my 35mm photography from the last 30 years. You know, I've been traveling, right? So, you know, and it's many images that no one's ever seen. So it's like an art book, it's a history textbook, and then it's like a memoir all wrapped into one. And, you know, talking about illustrations, like the cover is a photo by David D. Delgado, but all the hand embellishment on top of the photo is me. And that's kind of like, you know, I got my confidence with my art, and that's what led me to doing my
Yeah,
clothing brand, you know, which is featuring my illustrations and my hand lettering as well. You know, and I wouldn't even call myself an artist, but it's just me having creative fun, experimenting, exploring, branching out, diversifying, you know. And so, yeah, man, you know, go to coolboblove.com. That's with a K, to learn about everything I'm up to, or you can just go on Instagram, Facebook, Threads, you know, Blue Sky, Twitch.tv, you name it, and go to Cool Bob Love, KOOLBOBLOVE, to learn about everything I'm up to. Yo, to the Underground Arsenal, I appreciate you having me up as a guest. I wish you the best, and please, you know, send me the you know, the alert when any portion of this goes live, and I'll try to share it. Okay.
Definitely, definitely.
All right.
And yo, one more thing, man. Since this is a radio show, just introduce whatever song you want us to play right now. Whether if it's off the Stretch and Bobbito joint or just anything, your favorite joint, whatever.
Any upcoming artists?
Why don't you play my song, Bobbito Garcia? The title is Rock Rubber 45s. It was the first song that I ever produced, and it features Em8e, rest in peace.
Yes.
R.I.P.
Yeah, and it also features Rob Swift, you know, hip hop legend, on scratches during the chorus. Also features formerly known as J Zone of the Do Rights on the drums, and on the and he, you know, he helped write the song as well. But it's the first song I ever produced, and it was a title track to my film, Rock Rubber 45s, of the same title. So if you have that in your arsenal, you know, play that. Word. And thank you so much, fellas. All right.
We got that. We appreciate you.
Word.
We
It's been an honor, for real.
We love you. Underground Arsenal. Give him his flowers.
Word.
Word. Let everybody know. Bobbito Garcia, new book right here, y'all. Go get that. Hip hop.
All right. Good luck at y'all. Peace.
Peace.
The Raw.
Yes, sir, Reefus. This is Lebronx.
And this is your boy M8e.
And DJ Fatal Skills on the ones and twos. Tune in every Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to the
Underground Arsenal
Show, where we interview your favorite artists and play all the fly joints.
on the Raw 808 Underground
Radio.
Hip hop, how it should be heard.
If you miss an episode, go to the UAShow.com, log on.